Male Review on Yale Radiocast. Thank you everybody for tuning in to the Male Review on this outstanding Saturday.
Yes.
We are getting it in following a outstanding show with Women in the Mic. Sorry for the late start, but we operating on black people time.
Hey.
and we have the right to. This is Black History Month.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, somebody. In the middle of a panacea, a Panasonic, a Piccadilly.
What is a Piccadilly?
Look, let me tell you something, man. First of all, let me just go ahead and say, definitely welcome to the Saturday. Welcome to the Super Saturday with the leg. We call us the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. We are holding it down today. Myself and Brother Dylon, myself, Mark L. is in the building here live from Studio 7B. And what I was going to say was, the world would be so boring without black folk in it. You know why I say that? Because only we could take something like pandemic and put a mix on it and make it funny for everybody to laugh. You see what I'm saying? Listen,
panoramic.
The Panasonic has probably been my favorite one. In the middle of a Panasonic, let me tell you something. You ever had a Panasonic tape recorder? Boy, you can have some problems with a Panasonic. Let me just let you know.
We done swagged it out. We done called it the Rona.
Look, your life would be boring without us. Just understand this, man. We do this. Black Twitter exists for a reason. Okay, so welcome, y'all. Welcome. Thank y'all for joining us for another Saturday here with the Male Review. We definitely we're gonna touch on a couple of topics. We are definitely gonna touch on our political choices here today. We're gonna talk to a young man here. We're gonna talk to this brother, man. If you did get a chance to catch some of the Women in the Mic, you have to know something about this mayor of Union Springs, Alabama, Brother Roderick Clark. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for coming in to join us here on the Male Review. We know you were on Women in the Mic, and they're a kinder, gentler show.
Okay, it's a pleasure.
Yes. On the Male Review, we do things from a male point of view and a male perspective. So we're gonna ask you some questions.
Okay.
And then we're going to slide into our normal shtick. You understand? We're going to do our thing because we like to have a good time, man. We like to have a conversation. We like to talk to the people. We like to try to get our message out there. We like to let folk know that, hey, this is how the men think nowadays. Men of a certain age, men who've been through certain things. We, myself and a couple of other members of the leg, we've all been in the military, so we kind of have a different purview. Okay. And whereas we may not all see everything the same, we think we can all meet as men. You see what I'm saying?
I promise you. Listen,
this is why we're the league, brother.
Let me talk to the public, man.
Talk to the people, man.
When I created the idea of the Male Review, and if you see the slogan, it's conversation from a man's perspective.
Yep.
And men come in so many different images and looks.
Right.
And society thinks men have one look. Whether you white or black, a man thinks this or does this or operates like this or wants this or wants that or looks like this or acts like this. And that's totally untrue.
Correct.
So we try to cover the whole platform of what we're looking for in conversations.
Yes.
Knowing that every week we disagree.
We have some disagreements in here, man. We be some smoke in the neighborhood sometimes. But we do understand that as men, we can always agree to disagree.
Right.
Correct.
And step away.
Right.
And don't got to be no bloodshed.
And we want people who may not understand how we think to kind of get a understanding how the next person thinks as men. Mark L in the life that he leads, Dylan in the life that he leads, TR in the life that he leads, Josh the intern in the life that he leads.
Correct.
So it's great to have a brother like you in studio. Okay. Our brother Mr. Roderick Clark is joining us on the Male Review. He's been with us all day too,
yes, sir.
man.
Yes, sir. We've had the man hostage up in here, man.
Love.
It's all good though, man. Hey, welcome to the show again, brother. We definitely appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us today on this Saturday. So let's see, man. Where you want to go, man?
I just want to talk to this outstanding young man who I've known for a little while, and listen.
Okay.
It is a testament of greatness to see people that you see come up.
Yes.
And as they progress in the circle that they run with, because if you run in a certain circle or have a certain background, sometimes you're often limited to that certain circle or background.
You are correct, sir.
So I want Mr. Roger to introduce himself, let everybody know who you are. Yeah. And I want to know how you got into this position where you in politics, man.
We got some questions.
As the mayor of Union City, Alabama.
Right on, man.
Union Springs.
Union Springs. I'm putting you up here in Georgia. No, hold on.
Union City.
Hold on. We can't talk about what he did in Union City.
Okay, no, we ain't gonna go into that. That's gonna be on Markel After Dark. No, I'm kidding. Welcome, man. Welcome,
Union
brother.
Springs, Alabama. Welcome to the show, brother. Tell everybody about yourself.
Man, my name is Roderick Clark, the mayor of the city of Union Springs, newly elected.
Congrats.
Appreciate it. Man, just a down-to-earth public servant. I'm here to serve my people, put us in a position where we can achieve excellence. All of my citizens, no matter what color, what background, we are trying to move our city as a unit. I think unity, a city divided has to fall, and we can't be divided in no form, way, fashion.
Right.
And so that's why I'm here, man, to move my community to the next level. I thank God for putting in the people's heart to vote for me. You know, they had to have confidence, in that.
Listen and wait. Now, see, what he's being humble now, y'all. He being humble now, y'all. I did some research on this, brother. Let me tell y'all something.
Oh, man.
Not only did the man run for mayor, he then had to go through a runoff. So basically what happened was, so he went up there to fight, right? And they fought to a draw. And then somebody said, all right, we're going to draw straws and we're going to see if y'all going to do this last round one more time. So then he had to fight to get elected, and he did persevere, man. Congratulations to you, brother. Congratulations to you. So one of the first things that impressed me when I was reading up and trying to understand this information about you is, one, you've been around the political arena in your town for better part of 10 years, right? About 10 years?
About 10 years. Let
me ask you this, hard hitting, a brother like me wants to know, what made you decide one day, you know what, I'm going to run this mother. I'm going to get up, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to print up some flyers, I'm going to give me a slogan, I'm going to get some people behind me, I'm going to get some folks to put some money in the coffers, and I'm going to keep on campaigning.
And we gonna make Union Springs great again.
We're gonna make it great again, right? We're not gonna take from that guy, but you get my point. What made you decide to go into the political arena? What brought you there? What brought you to the political arena?
I think that's dual-fold. What made me step up was need.
Okay.
What put me in the political arena? I kind of figured that out as an adolescent that I wanted to be somewhere in the mix.
Okay.
I didn't know if I wanted to go to law school. I didn't know whether I was going to take the political route in the elected position, official capacity in its full extent. But that's where God led me.
Okay. All right, man. With strong faith. I hear the strong faith value coming through you. Okay, so was there an event? Was there anything specific that stuck out? Was it your conditions in the community? Was it, maybe you had a friend that maybe had problems, or, maybe, a lot of times people will end up in politics kind of backdoor. Like all of a sudden it's like, wait, how did I get on the city council or something to that effect? So was it anything specific that you can remember that said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna do that? Did you look at the mayor and say, I can do that job better than him, or I can look at someone in the council so I can do that job better than him? What actually, I definitely understand the aspiration, but was there anything specific that said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and run for whatever office?
I guess it was a personal choice.
Okay.
From growing up in the community in which I represent now, seeing the smaller man not really have the voice, which they should have. I kind of always set out to be that voice for my peers, my community, and my family. Things just kind of led. I always had a vision of where I kind of wanted to end up. You can always do that in life. You're going to go to say what you want. It may not be that exact pinpoint, but it's in that ball field.
Gotcha.
So, it was just a blessing just to be here, in this capacity. But I always wanted to fight for the smaller man.
Okay, understood.
Tell us about your family, man. You just mentioned that.
Yeah,
I think as black men, we need to touch on family.
Absolutely, man. Because
as men, but we have a stereotype as black men.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I would love for you to touch on that family side, if you don't mind.
Man, my family's so big.
You got a huge family, right?
Yeah. So just going basically off my household, raised by a single parent mother. My mother was an educator. She taught school for 25 years, retired.
All right.
So she was my backbone. My grandfather kind of stepped into the gap You know, like most grandfathers do. You know, when you're raised by a single parent. So my grandfather, my grandmother, you know, still lower than me.
Okay.
You know that's my foundation. You know, we all still wait sometime. You know, but you know, train child where he go, we want the parts. So come back to it.
Hey,
that's what I've heard. I've heard it all my life, man. I've heard it all my life.
You done did, you just don't know.
Hey, that's what it is. That's what it is. You are correct. You just set that path. They set that path out for you. You just walk them steps. Now, you know, it kind of get a little crooked now. You know, I went to college for a little while. And I went to the military and, you know, Jack Daniels. You know, things happen. But you end up getting back there. So, yeah.
So what were some of the mistakes that you made before we got here?
Oh yeah, I made plenty.
Of course.
Hey, you know we all do. You without seeing, can't storm.
Boy, listen.
And I don't want you to tell too much because we don't need any negative. Look here.
Nah, we don't want no negativity.
We don't want no negativity.
But want connectability.
Yes.
You know, and
right. That's what we want.
Connectability. I want to know, you know, I grew up in the neighborhood.
Right.
We leave school, we hit the park.
Yep.
You know, don't come home till late.
Yep.
You know, things happen along those courses.
Always.
You know, I can't say I ain't did nothing nobody else ain't did.
Right.
You know, but at the end of the day, you know, it's all about choices.
Right.
You know, and hopefully, you know, we all can make the right choice before we make the wrong choice.
Ain't it?
You know, so you know,
or at least they don't see the bad choices before they see the good choices. Let's go with that. Right on, man.
In our communities, man, nobody is any different.
Correct.
You know, we come from the same streets, the same school system. You know, the same kind of family structure. You know, we just it's just what. Hey man, that's so tough, man. Black community, tough thing, man. But I say this, we all have those opportunities or those life-defining moments where you know, like, okay, I'm gonna make this choice or that one. Correct. I just thank God that I was at that crossroad and I made the best one.
You made the best possible choice. That's good. That's good, man.
Yeah.
One of the major things, and especially in the political arena, you know, black people, man, we don't really trust politics too much, man. I mean, come on, dude. Like, originally, I'm from Chicago. I know we talked a little bit about that off mic a little earlier. And in Chicago, man, listen, it's hard to be a politician in Chicago on any level. Alderman, city council, mayor, political activists. Listen, the fact that we had a President Obama made it through the machine. Yeah, if you know anything about Chicago politics, the machine is a mother. I'm from the city where I went to a high school where when the day you know, God rest his soul, Harold Washington passed away right before Thanksgiving. I went to a high school that was half black and well, let's just say half white and mostly everybody else. So it was like 50% them and everybody else, you know, mixture, Hispanic, any other race in there, black, you know, Chinese, American, so on and so forth. Where they walked through the hallway singing "Ding Dong, Harold's Dead." Man, I mean, the politics in Chicago was rough, bro. It was rough. And, you know, being a black mayor in Chicago, that was huge. That was our Obama. You see what I'm saying? This was '83, man. This is '83. So this was our Barack Obama. This was, you know, everybody was proud of that. So with us being so distrustful of politics, what's one of the major things that helped you to connect with your base, the people that actually went out and said, you know what, this guy's a good guy, I think he'll look out for me? What was it that connected you the most? Was it the fact that you were from the neighborhood, or that you were somebody that grew up around there? Did you make a lot of tracks? Did you make a lot of inroads? Like, during the time that you were with the city council, maybe before that, did you do any, you know, activism? You know, what helped you connect to the base to be able to say, we trust this guy, we're gonna get out and vote, and not just vote once, we voted twice? What made that? You know, what makes you? What do you think makes you successful from that standpoint?
From that standpoint, relatability.
Yes.
I think in this culture, the people, the citizens, want to be able to connect with you, and a lot of times people have distrust because the, I guess, traditional political figure was one-sided.
You
know,
it's done behind closed doors, man. You don't see that. You don't see what they do back there.
But you have to be a human. You have to be a person. And I think that's that important. The people, when they have transparency, when you don't try to hide, when you try to connect and look at everyone as being the same. No picks and chooses.
Right.
Be straight down the line. And I think that's what my citizens know about me.
Excellent.
It's no size.
Strong.
You know, I'm gonna treat my Caucasian community like I treat my Latino community. I'm gonna treat my Latino community like I treat our community, Black community. I want everyone to be treated fairly.
Right.
You have to sit down and understand what their issues are.
Right.
You know, and address them. You know, with wholehearted concern.
Do you think you had a fight, a racial fight? Do you think you had that? Because, I mean, we're talking about Alabama. It's still, once again, we're talking about stereotypes. Everybody thinks Alabama has some racial background. And areas do.
Yeah.
Certain areas do. Do you
Georgia, man, please.
We're talking about Georgia.
This is why the big deal about us being a blue state, because we've been red for so long, right?
So do you think that you had to have some type of racial fight that you had to connect with any other race?
I'm going to say this. I think that's a good question. I would say life is full of different kind of prejudice.
Definitely.
You know, and people can choose to dislike for any prejudice reason.
Right.
And it's a fight now. You know, anytime you make a change, you know, change is uneasy.
Yes.
You know, and it's uncomfortable.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, I think that we all, you know, all of my communities may have had to deal with the changes that is occurring, but ultimately my people voted for me to be in this position.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna make this change as easy and as pleasant as possible, so we can move them forward.
Excellent, man. All right, I like that, man. It's like I said, it's hard. We have a lot of political back and forth. Especially in studio between us. I mean, when we not on the mic, we talk about it in the inbox. I mean, the leg, we get into it about politics. You know, who you with, and I don't trust so and so, and I don't like that person. And I mean,
church and politics, two things you don't fuss with.
Listen, but see, that's the thing about, that's probably one of the things that makes our show uniquely special to us, is that we can see different opinions, and this is something that I personally think the country as a whole could definitely grow from, being able to see a difference of opinion. But when you start getting into this partisan politics, and who's a Democrat and who's a Republican, and independents, and you know, and this person is going for that, and what they did 10 years ago, and then there's cancel culture. I mean, there's all kind of stuff, man. I'm telling you, this is why I can't run for office, because, well, two things. One thing, I'm so glad that there were no camera phones during Freaknik back in the 90s, because I wouldn't even be able to be on the radio right now. FCC would shut us all the way down, okay? All the way down.
Okay.
But the real thing is that with the cancel culture, and then we talked about you with relatability, right? Okay, so when you decided to go ahead and go out, I mean, and this is something that is very tricky when we think about politics. My theory in politics, and this is probably, I'm going to say, a good portion of Americans' theory, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on or where you are, you're going to look at what this person has done in the past.
Correct.
And you're going to look at what you think this person can do going forward for you going into the future. Correct. Right? Okay. Correct. So in the area of relatability, when you decide to run for office, it's like all of a sudden you need to scrub everything. Because it's like you lived the whole life before you started to run and do political office. And you either, if you ain't a Kennedy, man, you see what I'm saying? Let me just keep it funky with y'all Mail Review listeners. If you ain't a Kennedy, where you are sheltered and shielded and people can cover up your DUIs and your accidentally killing somebody jumping off a bridge, oops, you know, if you ain't got nobody to do that, I mean, I'm sorry, you know, Ray and them, they wasn't gonna stand up for me if, you know, I accidentally shot a dude in the leg. They wasn't gonna be like, oh no, that was somebody else did it. They were like, nope, yep, he did that right here on the corner right here. So when I think about politicians or people that are involved in politics, I want to call you a politician, but people involved in politics, when you decided to go ahead and run for office, were you worried that people would come up from your past and say things or odd stuff? Like, you know, you listen, man, look, let me tell you something. I was so glad the election was over. You know why? Not necessarily because Joe Biden won, because them damn political ads, man, listen, I didn't think.
What was the trigger word?
Goddamn America. I got so sick of hearing that. Oh my God, dude. They are rough, and I understand you are trying to go for political office, but they call it mudslinging. How do you stay above that? That's what I'm looking at. So you decide. If I decide to run for office, let me tell you, there's a line of people that's gonna line up and go. Let me tell you why this dude should not be, and that might be the reasons why I should be. Yeah. But nevertheless, so did you feel? Were you worried about that at all? Did you have any concerns? It comes with the territory.
I feel like it comes with the territory. Mm-hmm. I think you got to have tough skin.
Yes, sir. I think so.
When you go into public service, you have to know that you're going to have lies that's be placed on you. Yeah. And anything that's in your closet, what done in the dark, will come to light. You got to be able to stand on it and, speak your piece. So, that's exactly where I am with it. Moving properly and correctly as I journey in life. Yep. I had slip ups too, but I can stand on them. Yeah, and that's the thing, and that probably more than anything is what would sell me on someone who was running for office, especially running in my community. Correct.
Where does dude come from? That's the first thing I want to. Where does guy come from? Who is this dude? Did he go to high school with me? Did he go to a high school that was reputable? Did he play any sports? Stuff like that. Who is this guy? Yeah. He just popped up out the blue and decided, I'm gonna run for mayor of this town, and it's like, what? Who are you to represent me? Right. Have you been to this hood? Yeah. Where have you been? So that's a big thing. I think that's one of the major parts is being able to stand up on, hey, oh man, I remember he busted dude head down the street. Yeah, but that dude had it coming though. And he go to do, matter of fact, here, come on up here, tell him you had it coming.
I am not gonna lie. That is the exact reason I shut down Yale 2020.
Hey, listen, just shut this down.
I've been pushing Yale 2020 since 2017. I'm like, I'm gonna run for something. Then I like.
Hey, you know what I want to tell you, man? Though,
what's that, man?
What the audience needs to hear. Yeah. That we need different people from walks of life.
Yes.
And in order for our communities to change, they have to see men who will reform. And you can change.
Yes,
we always. You haven't reformed yet. No. Hey man, you got to reform your mind, man. You got to change your ways.
My mind is reformed, too, but my actions.
His actions.
Hey, my mind is telling me no.
Hey, but as a man, you know that you're going to protect yourself and your family.
Yes, true.
That's rule one as being a man.
True.
Yep. So I don't even look or consider that as being not changed. Okay. It don't never change from that.
No, it don't never change.
I'm going to protect my family, my property. At the end of the day, I think that seeing men that have made mistakes and have changed and be able to get to those positions, that's what changed our community's mindset. And I'm going to tell you this, the people in this generation right here, the millennials, if you showed them a way, see, we always talking about what's the way to change and show them. If they seen you or heard stories about you and you've done this, that, and third, but you can truly change yourself.
Right. But you know what? I've always said that sometimes as men, we have to make those mistakes.
Yes.
Because how do you know what a mistake is if you don't actually make that mistake and you suffer the consequences of those mistakes?
Yes.
Correct.
You're going to continue to walk the road of thinking you're getting by, doing wrong until you find out, oh, shoot, this is what happens when you do this.
Yeah.
So either eventually, hopefully, you take that and you motivate yourself to move past that moment.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And then say, okay, this hasn't worked for me as a man.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to make that mistake once, maybe twice, maybe three times, but hopefully somewhere down the line,
you'll learn
to say, I probably need to try something different.
And only through those mistakes can you train or teach somebody from not making it.
Correct.
Because you don't know what road they're going down if you've never been down that road.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the only way that we can change our youth. They need the ones who made those mistakes.
Right.
If you've been in the house reading books all day, you can't go to the neighborhood and tell the ones who out there shooting ball, maybe dice or hustling or whatever, you know what not to do. Because you ain't been down that road.
They gonna look at you like I did.
You know.
So I'm gonna hit you with this. We're gonna go to a commercial break.
Correct.
Because we want to get into the youth.
Yeah,
correct.
Absolutely.
But I want to read this comment. Kevin Norton. Shout out to Kevin Norton.
Shout out K Norton.
He was on the stream last week with the Mail Review. I respect the hell out of this man. He brings the change he wants to see.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So and that's a comment on the stream.
Thank you, brother Kevin.
Hold up. Got one more comment from Kevin.
Okay.
Hell. Run for the governor of Georgia, please. You got my vote.
Oh man,
You're already in there. You in Alabama.
Listen.
So we're going to talk about change, though. We're going to go on a commercial break. We got to play some ads and kind of refuel and
pay some bills right fast.
Retool ourselves. Lead them out before we're going.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome again back to the Mail Review. Hey, we gonna be back in 2 and 2. As my man would say on the TV show, we're going to get back into some of these questions and we're going to find out all about the youth and this new politics. Hey,
let's do it.
We'll see you in a minute. The motto is get the business.
This is Dylan Yale, the program director of Yale Entertainment and Yale Radiocast. If you feel like you're the person to talk about politics, sports, entertainment, and more, Yale Radiocast is giving opportunities to those who are interested in a career in podcasting. We are now being heard by over 20 streaming platforms, including iHeartRadio, Pandora Music, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and more. Let Yale Radiocast be the brand that delivers your voice to the world. Contact us at YaleRadiocast.com or email us at YALEENT1@gmail.com. The Yale brand is the gold standard, and this is Yale Radiocast. Get the business.
Hey, it's your girl Tiki. Please be sure to check out Women of Mike. We discuss a little bit of everything from men that ain't to women that do anything for a piece of.
Let's get deep about this. What if your girlfriend is the type of chick that every dude she dated give her body to, she claims that's her man, when he claims it's just a situation?
Boy, that 350. That's the rollback. So what he do? Hold on, baby. Let me get this loose chain out the car. He ain't gonna hit you with, here you go, baby girl. Yeah. She gonna still be calling him Mr. Clifford. I gave it a 23.
But yeah, check us out Saturday from 11 to 1 and Wednesday from 7 to 9. Tune in to Women in the Mic.
Boy, you don't need no checking in, man.
What's going on? This your boy Ether.
This presidential worthy, vote for me. Rap Analytics, man. We up in here.
Check us out every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. on YaleRadiocast.com.
We want your perspective. We're going to give you ours.
Man, if you into this hip-hop culture, we got all the information you need.
We're going to be breaking down everything from old school to new school, battle rap, fashion.
Anything that has to revolve around hip-hop, we're going to bring it to you from today's perspective for what's popping in the news right now. Hip-hop, Rap Analytics go hand in hand.
Rap Analytics, YaleRadiocast.com, baby. We live.
Welcome back to the Mail Review. You are back in the studio with the leg, live from Studio 7B. Myself, Mark L. in the building. My brother Dylan Yale in the house, the namesake. Yeah. And you are here with the Mail Review. And today, y'all, we are having a fantastic show. I think it's fantastic.
Yes,
hey,
definitely.
For people that want to kind of give a call and speak to the mayor, want to talk to the
mayor. We got the mayor.
We got the mayor. On the line today. Y'all can give us a call here at 678-586-9241. Or that is again 678-586-9241. You can always go ahead and you can watch us live. You can watch us on RTV.
I want some questions, man. I want some questions for brother Roderick Clark right up in here. Mr. Clark.
Yes, sir.
Do you got a bat with you, man?
Uh-oh.
No, that's in the car.
You ain't
right on. Listen, we got a man that's about that real talk. He about that action, boy. He about that action, boy.
But maybe go to the car. Yeah, and I'm gonna pop the truck. No,
let's not do all that. Let's not do all that. But yes, man, thank you again for joining us today, brother. We definitely appreciate it. So we kind of touched a little bit about the politics and you getting the bug and going ahead and running for office and successfully completing your campaign and becoming the mayor. So now, as the mayor, as someone who's standing up there in front of the youth and the people in your town now, as someone that's representing your town and trying to do the best for them, we have, our youth is out there definitely suffering right now. Okay. We saw there was a story that just came out here in Atlanta this past week with a young man. It's kind of a sad story. Young man, 12 years old, told his family he was going to go play football with some friends, and that brother never came home. 12 years old, man. And we think it's related to gang violence. A lot of people think it's related to gang violence. We're trying to figure out right now. They're still investigating, trying to figure out what happened. So I don't want to give names and particulars, but I just want to kind of use that as a caveat to try to move into. So being the mayor of your town and definitely dealing with the people and seeing the youth. Now, we've got this new generation of kids that are growing up, like you said, the millennials. I think we might be out of millennial. We Gen what? Gen Y now? I'm old school, man. I'm Generation X.
Don't get me to give
I'm
them
I'm Gen X. So I think these are Gen Y, somewhere between
Generation
something.
Generation 6-9.
Let's call them Generation Now, okay?
Generation
so
6.
with these young men and women coming up now in your town, what would you say is a major thing that you focus on as far as trying to make sure that the youth have something to do that kind of steers them away from, like we talked about earlier, the path that we all take, when people lay that path for us. I mean, some of us have mothers and fathers and extended families, grandparents, and so on and so forth. What is it that you think you bring to the table to the youth as far as, hey, I'm here to try to represent you guys. I want to make sure that you have the right programs. I want to make sure that you have the right support for the things that you want to do. Tell me a little bit about, the youth experience there in your town, sir.
In the capacity of being the mayor, I won while we were still in COVID.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to put the kids in danger as far as that gathering. But beforehand, like you said, I've been dealing in political endeavors almost 10 years now. And I think it comes from that connectability, understanding what the kids need and exposing them to those resources. Now, sometimes it's hard to get those resources to those small areas in Alabama. Okay. But what we do, we put them with organizations that can transfer them to other areas. Like I deal with Alabama Edge, and what Alabama Edge does, they expose the achievement gap, and we deal with student athletes in some of those rural areas and take them to those predominant PWIs, like the Alabama's program,
predominantly white institutions, PWIs. Okay, got you, my man. Just for folks that don't know, PWI. Yes, predominantly white institutions. Yes, that's what we're talking about. But go ahead.
But to those major programs, because in our state we have two of the. I'm an Alabama fan.
Lord, wait a minute. Alabama, okay, Georgia. Time out. We're gonna take which one is you? Is you War Eagle? Or is you Roll Tide? Okay, all right. I know it's one or the other. It ain't both.
But it's one or the other. But we have a lot of great programs, even UAB.
Okay.
We've taken our youth to all those areas to expose them, and it's just about exposing our kids to things that they don't have that's in the community. And when you can't take them outside the community, it's for us to bring some of those things to the community.
Gotcha.
And we have a lot of initiatives in which we're going to try as soon as COVID breaks off. But I most definitely keep you all in the loop of those.
Absolutely, man. Hey, keep us posted on that, man. We like to we do attend events.
What's if you don't mind me asking this, what's the hardest thing, your biggest difficulty with connecting with the youth? Yeah. Because they think that we don't hear them, or that we don't understand them, like we ain't did everything that they doing right now.
Man, when I tell you, I guess I'm in that age range where
because you're still young.
Yeah, right. I'm still.
You got like 1 or 2 grades right there.
Man,
I think that's good for the job. Two. Yeah, you got 2.
We're gonna interview you at the end of the pandemic. You might be in here like me, just white beard, like y'all just don't know.
Hey man, Wilson, what I take it for. But at the end of the day, the connectability with them is not so hard for me, because if you notice, sometimes we have to put ourselves in other people's shoes. When you were adolescent, what's the main thing you wanted?
Right.
Was for somebody to listen.
Right.
You know, a lot of times as adults or big brothers and sisters or community leaders, we instruct, but we don't listen.
But we don't listen.
You know, you have to listen to them, and when you listen to them, let them open up, then they'll be more receptive of what you're saying and open up to tell you what's going on. Definitely. So that's the approach that I take in my community with the adolescents, and then you got to do things for them.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't be the one that you see one of the young men in your community and you see all the kids got ice cream and he ain't got one. You got to buy him one.
Got to get him one.
Get him one.
Each one, reach one, touch one.
Most
that's
definitely.
Right.
So it's just about being hands on.
Okay, right now, man. That
Hold
sounds
up.
good to me.
Kevin Norton said, "You just lost my vote.
Why?
Go Dogs."
Hey. It's all right.
Listen, y'all already know. Listen, I'm a Notre Dame fan, so I'm not even going to get into that with y'all down here in the South.
Let's talk about Florida State.
Hey, but hey, right on, man. We definitely appreciate that, man. As far as so that's one of the major parts with you connecting with you. So right now in your town, you have any specific programs that you want to keynote, you want to highlight? What are some things right now that the youth can get involved in to try to, basically to try to find a better way? What are some things you guys have going on right now that you know of?
With the COVID restrictions, everything is so hard.
Oh my God!
And the liability is something that institutes don't want to take on.
Right.
And that's what we're facing right now. A lot of things have to be outdoors.
Okay.
Working with this outstanding group out of Montgomery, Alabama. Team Us, and what they do on the fighting obesity.
Oh, right. Okay.
In some of those rural areas, trainer got some professional athletes, that's from the area to come and do different things. Matter of fact, they helped me on the campaign as well. So, everything right now is kind of outdoory.
Yes.
To make sure that we keep them safe. Because the spread is getting high.
Oh my God! Listen, you touched on it, talking about COVID. So, with your town, with you just having become the mayor of your town, do you find yourself faced with having to make decisions like, okay, look, y'all can't gather more than 10 or more than 50 at a certain event? Do you find yourself in that line of fire? The reason I ask is because, so for example, our mayor here, Keisha Lance Bottoms, definitely impressive. Mayor Keisha, she's embattled on both sides about what to do with this pandemic. I'm not really certain on how big your town is, but as far as the coronavirus and the restrictions, do you find yourself where you have to kind of tell people, no, you guys can't do that. I'm gonna make this an act that you can't do it. Does it work that way, or do you work with the city council to try to determine, hey, we need to make sure we shut this down and try to make sure everybody's safe?
Oh, me and the council stay on accord as far as about what we want to do. And I think in the last segment, I talked about an ordinance in which we place the mask ordinance and make sure it's following what the governor did in our state. But also, just reinforcing it, putting those fines on them. But again, it comes to choice.
It does.
And you really can't make anyone do anything.
You can't compel them.
Yeah, most definitely. So I think that, like you said, with Keisha having that problem, I think every mayor or every government has that same initial problem. Yeah. And it comes to the people just being aware and just making a conscious decision that we are not going to go up without our mask.
Correct.
We are not going to put ourselves in that situation. Until then, we just have to work with what we have.
Gotcha. Now, go ahead, Donald.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yes.
When he says that, man, I had to take my headphones off because. Now go ahead.
The police.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
And I haven't been in your city, but we do know it's a big issue within the United States of America, how to police the police.
Okay.
And we do, because we've had plenty of conversations about that policing the police isn't on a presidential level,
right?
Because everything that's happened last year was, well, what is Trump going to do, and when Biden get in office, and this is not their job, as you spoke earlier, but it does fall into your area.
Correct.
First of all, let me ask: are there any problems within your community that you have had difficulties with police?
You ain't got to go into full detail.
You ain't got to go into full details.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But
I think the question that you pose is very important for the people that's watching us to understand and know.
Right.
Community policing is a phrase that has been thrown out globally as far as like what we need to do. Me and my community, what we did to address it is, in my short tenure as being mayor so far, we set up police committees.
Yep.
I have a community involvement. I have one of our former wardens, a prison that's within my city limits, and I have former chief of police, and I have a couple more people in the community to shed their input on what's going on. Good. And when we hire or issues going on in the community, we talk about it with our chief of police.
Right.
Just let them know exactly what's going on. And I'm a hands-on mayor. I talk to my chief all the time.
Okay.
But I think that when you're talking about manning the police or just trying to keep a good hold on what's going on in your community, I think it all comes from conversation. Knowing them. Being intentional, about what's going on. And I think as leaders, we have to stay on top of that. We have to listen to our constituents. Because a lot of times, constituents may not say what's going on. And then when they say what's going on, the incident has occurred on more than one occasion.
Right.
So that's where you have that community buy-in.
I think what's always been needed is what we've kind of gotten away from is community interaction with the police that are working within that community.
Correct.
Now you have somebody who has maybe a stereotypical view of a community going and actually working in that community.
Yeah, that's the bad part.
Rather than if an officer knows Miss whoever or knows this young man, you're gonna approach the situation differently. Correct. Because as we do, we know what we see when we see it, and we know we're gonna react because we understand what we're seeing.
Right. And we have to be realists, to say that the cycle of how we view law enforcement as a community is not going to be easily broken.
I work hand in hand with law enforcement daily. As part of my job as a director of security. The security field works directly with law enforcement.
Correct.
I've often had to call them, and I know plenty of them by name, and they know me. Like, you over here now, you doing. So it's definitely a understanding that you have to have an actually conversation.
And what we did in our community, I don't want to be remiss to leave this out. We have something called Cops and Kids. Okay. I know a lot of municipalities may do it around the region or what have you. But I think having a day where your police department or your particular precinct, caters to the community on that day, bring some bouncers out, let the kids see you and know them as they come up, so you can know the individual instead of profiling what you do not know. But one thing I would love to see, my state, your state, and every other state, some of our adults that have been brought up in that same mindset. I had a certain mindset as a youngster because the music that you hear, and the things that people say, about law enforcement. But we as men, we have to step out there when they have those interactive days. We got to be out there with the children. Let them know these law enforcement officers are all right, because we do not want our kids being put in a position where their lives are at danger, our officers' lives are at danger.
That's the thing, man. That's the biggest argument, man. And and again, just pretty much like Dylan said, he works directly with law enforcement. I had law enforcement in my family. See what I'm saying?
Me too, as well.
So my mother worked for Chicago Police Department for 19 years, rest her soul. And my brother just retired from working with Cook County. So he was a deputy. He was a Cook County deputy sheriff. So he worked out there. And then there's me.
You are a Marine. You are a Marine.
Yeah, I am. Yes, I am definitely a Marine. Trust me. Yeah,
not too much to brag.
We had to work. We had to work our way around to that, but we got there. We got there.
It's not to brag about, but you can get.
I know. It's all right. Most Army people say that. But one of the major parts, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna just throw the gauntlets off.
Let's do it.
How hard is it to be just Roderick, a black man, just in Alabama? Just you woke up, you put your pants on like I did, and you go cut your news on, and any number of black people been killed overnight. What is it like to be just Roderick before you get to the office when you were Mayor Roderick? you feel the same stress. How hard is it to break? And because I mean, listen, if I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, if I was a mayor, if I was somebody in the city council, and literally, like somebody in my community, one of the little kids that I may have known growing up for whatever reason, once I discovered, cameras and all this other stuff, I'd be mad as hell, man. I'd be pissed off. Like, who shot him?
Yeah.
Get your, you know what I'm saying? Like, so how hard is it to separate? Do you kind of, are you able to compartmentalize it to say, man, that is bad. What happened to George Floyd? Let's use George Floyd as an example. And for you to go in and work with the city council and these people who probably feel like, he should have just complied. I mean, what is it like to sit there and look at
that one?
And let me tell. Look, I can't hide it on my face. No, I can't bullshit you. I can't hide it on my face. That? Boy, I'd be hopping like, you look like you. What you thought he should have complied? Come meet me outside the chamber. Meet me outside the chamber.
How do you handle that?
Yeah,
I think you handle it with decorum.
Decorum, yes, sir.
Most definitely. Everyone is entitled to their opinions.
True.
Now, and that's in any form way of life. You're not gonna really see eye to eye with certain people all the time.
True.
But you stand on your truth. And I was always raised to speak when spoken to.
Yep.
And to stand on what your conviction is, no matter what another person's conviction is.
That's man law right there. Man law.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Stand on it. Stand on it.
We men out here. But at the end of the day, when you were talking about breaking Roderick down onto the mayor and different things, to whom much is given, much is required.
True.
So at this stage, I'm learning that I have to be the same. I don't need to change it either way. I just need to be Roderick, be formed with Roderick just because Roderick gets made as a title.
Gotcha.
I need to be that same man in and off, what I'm saying, duty. So at the end of that, and my duty is never done. I'm right now, I'm the mayor. I need to represent my city properly.
Absolutely.
No matter if I'm even on my off time, is that I need to conduct myself accordingly.
Right.
You're a military guy.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, even when you went off base, you still
represent the military. Yes,
most definitely.
Look,
so
my camp said us Marines.
Come on. So you always have to stand 10 toes.
Yeah.
On who you are and what you are. And always know someone watching.
Absolutely, man.
And we all make mistakes. And I think as a people, as a culture, we shouldn't frown on people making mistakes. We lift them up.
Yeah.
Since our children know that will scare the young folk. When they see a man that trying to do good and make a mistake, and then everybody against him, that makes them scared to make a mistake or don't even want to be all the way upright.
Okay.
So we have to change some things, man. But it's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
I have no doubt.
It's a challenge.
I have no doubt.
Let me ask you this one. Okay, so going into politics.
Okay.
And once you get into there, you start to see more and more and more and more. But once you cross that threshold and become governor or mayor or whatever next level, you start to see some things that you did not know that this is what you were going to deal with.
Right.
Yeah. Working with, because me being at even a corporate level in my field.
Okay.
I started to see, this is how this goes. I had no idea that you were going to have to sit in meetings with people that you don't like,
right?
That you probably wouldn't even mess with on a regular daily basis.
You don't like that don't like you,
but you have to get a deal done,
right?
Man, hey, and then
so
you just said the best thing. You got to sit in the office with somebody that you may not like
and
get a deal done.
Yeah,
if you
for the betterment,
so of everybody.
Man, listen, y'all finna make my point come home so good.
That's what we do. We're extraordinary up in here, brother.
Hey, I appreciate that. Kings, I'm saying more kings.
Yes, sir.
If you take that same ideology and put it into our kids now. All right, so I'm from the west side, you from the north side. We ain't gotta like each other.
We ain't bubbling.
What I'm saying? But we need to come together to either win this basketball game that we both playing for the same team on, or if both of us washing cars, selling a t-shirt, or whatever. We ain't got to. Business is business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you either gonna learn it now. at 12, 13, 14, 15, are you going to skip that little stage and when you get 25 or 26 or 30?
It's hard to learn it then. There's bars involved at that point.
Even in them bars, you have to learn. I mean, things go down. We know that.
Yep,
but at the end of the day, when those CEOs there, the war and walking through or whatever, you got to learn how to get along. You got to play like you do. You know what I'm saying? So why not use that same practice right now?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But how much of an eye opener was that for you? And was there a big learning curve to say, "Woo, I can't believe I gotta do this with
almost all the time."
I know.
Every day it's a new lesson, right?
Listen. I hear that Alabama coming out right now as we speaking, okay?
Yeah.
I hear that coming out right now. Yeah. So I already know you was in a moment where, man, listen.
I'm gonna say this. You handle everything accordingly. And I know, I may be saying the proper way, but it's just what truth is.
Oh, you say the truth is the proper way.
The truth is the proper way. Like, at the end of the day, don't let my uncle taught me a mean principle. Let nobody control your emotion.
Woo.
So if I'm upset about what you do, you got control of me.
You got to control.
Man, what if you doing this, acting up, I'm going to smile and laugh like I can't even believe they tried this. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we got to have the mission to go forward. Right, you know what I'm saying? Our whole thing is to help our people. To get these resources here. You know what I'm saying? To grow our city, our tax base. Right. So if we're on something different, I still have to listen as a professional, as a man, but I don't have to take that in.
Yeah. One thing, because I have a staff of like 14 people up under me on that side, like 10 up under me over here, and I say, don't let somebody else's temporary moment deter your long-term goals.
Absolutely.
Correct.
You have to learn how to even put that to the side, because that may get in the way of your bigger picture.
Correct.
Most definitely.
And definitely, as a public servant, as you call yourself,
yes, sir.
Word, you have to look at the bigger picture.
Correct.
And the long term when you're dealing with having to work with. Okay, so you might have to do some things that the community may not like in that moment.
Man.
For the long term, what is the hardest thing that you said that you probably think that you had to deal with? Say, they ain't gonna like this one, but
they'll like it later on down the line.
Have you had one of those moments yet?
Man, it's first day in the door, man. I know you all know y'all been trying to go around and live.
Yeah, I'm in there.
I'm gonna say this, not to drop in names or anything like that. Hard decisions have to be made.
Yeah,
change is uncomfortable.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, but change is needed. But you can't change anything. Keep repeating the same cycle.
Right.
So sometimes you just have to, go with your heart. And if you stand on your truth and you done prayed or did what you had to do to make that certain decision, you stand on it and it'll manifest itself. The same thing we've experienced as kids. We don't know why mom and dad made that decision.
Oh, man.
But we were so happy, and when we found out why they did it,
this helped us in the long run. Right.
What was going on.
Yep.
So I think that I'm going to probably have plenty more decisions to make like that.
No doubt.
But at the end of the day, I just like to move off truth and purpose and what's more important for the people, and they're letting me to do so.
Absolutely.
So just do that, and everything will be all right.
All right, so we gonna wrap up, but we haven't got any call-ins. People that's on the chat, 678-586-9241. We see somebody listening live. People are listening on the stream. We got call in. Look here, man. We got a outstanding young man here in the studio with us. We got a whole mail. Come on, man. What more do you want from me?
What more do you need? We more extraordinary in here than we have been.
678-586-9241. If you have any questions, because you may be a young man that wants, or a young woman, or a woman that wants to go into politics, and you might be questioning what you're going to deal with.
Right.
And we have somebody here right now that actually can help you out to get there. So while we are hoping somebody calls in, what is your long-term goals?
Yes.
What my long-term goals
are?
What
you hope to accomplish as the mayor?
To change the whole dynamic of my community. I know it seems maybe far-fetched, but I think that our quality of life I would like to see it on the level of a metropolitan city.
Okay.
But that's just my goal for my people in my community.
Yes.
I think that just because you are smaller or ruler in dynamics or diversity, that you don't have to stay that way.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I want to show that progression. I want to be that agent of change.
Right.
So that's my goal, to be the agent of change in my community, to push us or catapult us into this new era.
Hashtag agent of change.
Agent of change.
Yeah.
That is
Not
correct.
agents of shield.
Not Agent Orange.
Not Agent Orange.
Agent of change. Agent of change. My man.
Kevin Norton, he has a comment. I have more respect for a man who lets me know where he stands, even if he's wrong, than one who comes up like an angel and is nothing but a devil. Malcolm X. This is Black History Month, and we do celebrate everything that encompasses black greatness. Only because we want people to understand that we are pretty much all the same.
Yeah. Correct.
We've all made mistakes, no matter what race we are. The thing is, and I think this is some things that we fight within the black community, that we want everybody to see the greatness in us, but I think we need to focus on seeing the greatness in ourselves.
Yes.
Correct.
Some things that I had a talk with my brother. There's some things that we do have to fix within the black community that only we can address.
Okay.
Only we know what it is. We can't go to any other race. It's not even $1 bill that could fix it.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it is $1 bill that could fix it.
A few dollar bills.
A few dollar bills. That
temporary.
It will
make
help.
you feel a little better.
But yeah, it make you feel a little better. But what do you think? Only within us. How do you think we fix the issues that we have?
And like I told the ladies earlier, man, they asked me what I wanted to leave, and I told them I want to leave love. I feel like love, the only thing that's gonna change is love change all. I know that real deep. Some people may not catch it. But at the end of the day, that's the only thing we can do to change it. The more love, compassion you show a person, the more anytime a person go to rehab, therapy, anything, get what they're looking for. That love and compassion.
Right.
They help change them to get back to where they need to be.
Yeah.
So that we gotta share 24/7.
Now, you said something right there. A lot of therapy. We are so scared of therapy. We're so scared. We are so scared of therapy,
especially the men.
And that's a problem. I think that's one of the things that we do, because we don't understand it.
Yeah.
We have people that we think we have people telling us who don't understand what we're going through. Once again, the older generation to the younger generation. The younger generation thinks we don't understand them.
Right.
So how do you deal with that?
I take that as it's something that we have to change from the root.
Yeah.
Even myself. I was told, I said, I'm an uncle, like a father to me. He was like, suck it up, be a man. You know what I'm saying? And you don't tell, like in our culture, I don't think that we talk about what's really inside of us. And when you go so many years without telling somebody,
man, you gonna blow up.
You don't know how.
You don't know how.
So you gonna tell me that I can't even be comfortable enough to sit down with my sister, my brother, my mother, grandparents or whomever, all your significant other, but you really talk to your family, your significant other about what's inside.
True.
Sometimes when you haven't done it all.
Right.
So you're telling me you can't do it with any of those people in that group, and you have to sit down and to be comfortable and tell a total stranger who has to document what you're saying.
Right.
So I think that we have to tell our kids, to break it, because we have to work on it from another avenue as adults, because we are already at this stage.
Right.
But for the ones that's coming up after us, the ones coming up now, we have to at 5 and 6, what you going through?
Right.
What's going on? Be that haven to talk to them, so they won't have to carry that burden.
Pay attention to what they doing and see.
Correct.
Hey, what is it that you're looking for?
Right.
Son?
Correct.
What you need, a job? We need to get you working around here. You need to get this trash out of here. Something. But you make a lot of sense, because and we've talked about it on past shows. Definitely, we got a buddy, a good friend of the show named Therapist G, who comes in and talks about therapy, definitely, especially where men are concerned, about how for example, Michael Bazin did that book. What was it called? Men Cry in the Dark. Mm-hmm. That's a real thing, man. That's a real thing. We walk around here, and we hear things. We hear things all the time. We hear toxic masculinity. We hear all of this bravado and machismo and patriarchy and all these different things that we've been not only subjected to, but also played a victim of, and also perpetuated. We've also been a part of the culture that's perpetuated this stuff. Right. So being able to talk to our youth when they're young, to let them know, hey, listen, it's okay to feel things. You can stop there, but don't stay there.
Yeah.
That's the big part. You can stop there. But before, like when we were coming up, it wasn't, look, you need to suck it up. Be a man. You stubbed your toe, cuss, and get it moving. Boy, you going to be all right.
Ain't nothing wrong with you. If you don't get your ass out there and drink some water out that water hose, you'll be all right.
People stub their toe every day, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. You tough, right? That's how we do it.
One last thing.
What's up?
Financial stability in the black community.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Them buy $5.
Them
buy $5.
Hey, do you know what the problem with that is?
Yeah.
Showing love. You show love. I'm gonna give you that $5.
Okay.
If you need it.
Right.
You come back again. I've done this several times. I'm gonna give you that $5. The third time, I have to correct you.
Right.
To show you that it's not that I'm not giving it to you out of love. Is that I need you to be responsible enough of this because we all are working to get it. But to go to you, when you're talking about financial stability in our communities, like we have to learn, and I'm preaching this in mind, to collaborate rather than compete.
Yeah,
we have to put our resources together. We're already behind the curve.
Right.
If we want to be truly financially stable as a complete community, we have to own our communities.
Yes.
We have to be getting residual dollars off of something.
Right.
We can't be waiting for that money without creating income.
Definitely.
So we have to learn to formulate ways to create that income together.
One thing I say is congregate with like-minded people.
Yes,
most definitely.
Definitely, we need to get around a circle of people who understands these things that we don't understand, because we're not taught stocks and bonds within the black
not
community.
at all, man. What?
And even we might shun on people who do.
You know why?
And that's a problem.
We don't know.
The ladies talked about this earlier. Why don't we we can't wait on the system to teach these things to our children.
Right.
We have so many people, and even in Atlanta, look at this major metropolitan area, the Mecca. And you have people that's from Atlanta that's all over the world, California, New York, probably across country, doing financial things of that magnitude. We have to reach back out and look at who went to those schools and get them back. We got a financial advisor. We need to bring them here. You know what I'm saying? And talk to those kids and teach them the way. They may not be able to come here every day, but we have to take on our own responsibilities instead of placing it on a system that we are wishing to do that. If we want to teach our kids about stocks and bonds, somebody knows somebody.
Somebody knows somebody that knows somebody.
That's the major part. And we got to find these people, these like-minded people, because here's the thing. In our community, and if y'all didn't know, I'm a black guy. In our community, we do know that a lot of us, when we come up, it's always about secure the bag, as the kids say nowadays. I got to go get my money. Ain't nobody thinking about everybody. You say you hear all the time on the records, we eating over here, but really you eating and they hanging out. You see what I'm saying?
They're eating your
They're
scraps.
eating what you got, right?
They eating your leftovers.
Right, and they gonna mess around and eat your dinner. You gonna keep them around long enough in a minute. You see what I'm saying? So kind of trying to change the narrative so that we want us all to really move up for real this time.
No, and I like what you say. You're talking about people saying we eating over here.
Yeah,
and they're giving their cohorts or friends money.
Right.
But they're not.
That's not helping
teaching them how to fish.
Right. You giving the man the fish. You feel my man. You right on point. I was about to go there. I was getting there.
It's okay, and we have because we don't want to accord. Kings think alike.
Yeah.
But what I alluded to that point because I can't make any money if you don't teach me how to make money.
True.
I can see you coming home every day with a bag full of money, but if you don't tell me what you did to get that bag full of money,
I'm just gonna think it's my money.
you see what I'm saying?
That's my money you got right there.
Until we teach, how to get that funding.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We have to instruct our kids. And it all starts like you were saying. Let's teach them about them rough RRAs. Let's teach them about those stocks and bonds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's put them at an early age in position. Make sure everybody got life insurance.
Yeah.
That's
that's a good one.
Make sure you got insurance on your family.
Yeah.
Put yourself in position to have that that step up.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
that we may not have been received. You know, being that our parents or forefathers didn't have that education.
Right.
You know, but since we have the education now, and we can't expect for things to change in a decade, you know, or 2 decades, you know, to the magnitude in which we want it to be.
Right.
But we can implement that change.
Yes, we
You
can.
know,
we can start today.
We can start today. And I think if we leave this building today, which I know we all are men that are doing that, you know, we leave today on one accord and we start being that light. You know, we start, even if we save one child, 2 children, you know, as far as teaching them how to build their financial capital at an early age, then listen, we've done a great deed.
Yes, sir.
Outstanding. Well, man, we coming to the end of the show. We done held this man here all day.
I know it, man.
You've been held hostage.
We gonna free you up, man. We know you got important stuff to do.
Phone going off. I see him looking down his phone like.
He like, come on now. I got to go run a whole city now. I can't be sitting here with y'all.
We appreciate it, man. What's in the last words you got to everybody, brother?
Man, tune in to this podcast. I've been blessed by the conversation that I've had with these brothers. Continue to show love, man, to your whole communities. Get out and vote. Voting is very important. You have the power, you know, to change whatever situation that you're in. Just be strong, black people. Love you.
Mr. Roderick Clark, listen.
The honorable Mayor.
Look here.
Roderick Clark.
I just want to say this, man. When you get up there and you come behind Biden, whoever.
Yes, sir.
And you up there on a big platform running from that president.
Yes.
Don't act like you can't come here because I'm look.
Look.
Now the president, the presidential podcast is something different. Here's a whole different person. He'll be on this side of the table.
Think they stormed the Capitol?
Right.
You think they stormed? Oh, you too good. You too good.
We're gonna be pumping. We're gonna pump Yale.
Hey, since you got me on live TV, on live stream, I want to say this. I saw you New Year's.
Yes.
You and Mon Duke said, "Hey, Rod, need you to get on the podcast." I said, "I got you." You know, and I came.
Sir.
We got a lot of things going on in our city right now. But
Definitely.
one thing we have to do for our people know, like, this is just a position. It'll leave soon.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
President Obama, we gonna love him forever.
Yes.
But he's not in that capacity anymore.
Right.
Correct.
So when you get in those capacities, you can't forget about the people that you come in contact with.
Right.
I will never be a person that if you all call me, if I can come,
Hold
I'll
up.
come.
We got a call. The call-in number is 678-586-9241. We trying to sign out, get this man.
As soon as we start signing out, they start blowing the phone up.
678-586-9241. That was a question for the call-in. Also, we got a comment. Freddie Moore, 71. Keep up the good work, brother.
Hey,
Thank you. Thank you
listen,
so much.
so you are definitely making a impact, and that is
Appreciate
what
it.
we are about. And it ain't even about color. It's about just doing the right thing, just to make this country a better place, and just to have everybody on the same accord. As we spoke about for the whole show, we want everybody to understand the next person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody, even in differences.
Correct.
Yes.
We have to understand the differences that we all have as a people, because nobody's going to be alike.
No.
No two people. Well, man, you know, us Geminis are certain.
Y'all about 6 people. Y'all about 6 people, but you know.
Yale Radiocast, the mail review. Who's calling in? Hey, how you doing, brother? Thank you for calling in. Say your name again.
Kevin Norton. I'm one of the comments.
Hey, brother Kevin, how you doing, man?
Okay.
All right. How y'all?
All right.
Turn this down so I can hear y'all a little bit better. So me and Donald was talking on Thursday for a little while, and you know I got a question. We were talking about the youth earlier. I know I'm a little bit late on this one, but man, so the youth, they look at the mayor and the political parties in the community as they've already made it. And y'all gonna come to them with all these answers that don't apply to them exactly. Do you got a plan to get your message to the youth when it starts in the household with the parents and the, in quotation mark, OG leaders of the community? Do you got a plan for that?
Repeat that question one more time, sir.
So if you go to the youth with the outreach programs, they look at you as an individual who's already made it. You are now part of the political agenda. You are now part of corporate America.
Correct.
You don't fit into the same community that they are in.
Yes.
You've made it out of that community. Do you have a plan to reach the parents of the next generation to get your message through the parents to them, or the, in quotation marks, OG leaders of that community that you actually listen to?
I think that's a great question. I'm kind of unique in that regard because I never lost connectability with my people. When you're trying to change things that matter to them, yes, it may be some adolescents or young people that know, okay, he's the mayor now, and it brings a bigger respect, but I'm never too big to come down to talk with them. And when you're talking about the OGs in the community, where I'm from, like I was an athlete, I played football, played basketball, I was in the community, throw different events, so I know them. We are family. Most of the OGs in our community. So I talk to them. I know their kids. Those are the ones you got to touch. The OG children. They look at me like a uncle figure. And I think when we were talking earlier, this is all a part of who you select as your elected officials, who you vote for and who you have running. If you have people that can connect and know your community, then they know the players. It's just for them to stay solid with their community and keep their interests first. So with me, myself, I plan on to continue to just be connectable with them and put those resources out there. But you are totally correct. In neighborhoods or communities outside of my own, you have to reach what you call, quote unquote, those OGs. They are the influencers. You have to reach those parents, and parents and OGs. I don't care where you are, Chicago, New York, California, Alabama, or Georgia. If they have an elected official that has the heart to come talk to them or pull up in those community, they're not going to touch no elected official. The chief police work for them, or the state troopers or whatever. You go and talk to these people because we are all human. I think that's what we have to always remember, that we are all God's children, my brother, and no one is better than the next person, and we have to take the complaints of you all very seriously. So I'm kind of unique in that position, but I would suggest to all my core heads of people that's in the political endeavors to stay connected to the community. That's the only way we're going to be able to represent you all to the best of our ability if we know exactly what you need.
Kevin, you got your answer, my brother.
Oh yeah, that answered it, but that led into the next question.
Okay, talk to me.
In communities like where our elected officials aren't representing the people necessarily, they're doing the whole horse and pony show where they pull up, oh, it's pretty cool, whatever. 5 or 6 police get out, shake hands, they hop in the car, they leave.
Yeah.
But yet they turn, they want all this extra stuff. They want the community to do certain things. Us as the people of the community, what is your suggestion to get across that to our elected officials that they need to do more on their end?
Man, off camera, we were talking earlier about putting some of our black attorneys, in positions just to be those officials, judges, and things of that magnitude in different areas. Man, I think that everything, like, this is not going to be microwavable. It's not going to be internet fast. If this is what your community is feeling as a whole, you need to wait those 2 years or 4 years. Don't wait those 2 years or 4 years. I don't know whenever the election is coming, next election for your particular community. But right now is the time to start seeking, who could represent you to the best of that ability. Who's from your, start identifying, the players in the game. It could be, people that are on certain boards. It could be people already elected officials, or people that, maybe stakeholders got a business or something that everybody listen to. It takes for you all to talk to them. It's time for us to elect the people who know you, who understand the fight, who've been in the fight. And it become more personable when you've been in that fight and looked at the same way, so what, if you stay focused, what's going on. So I would ask, you brother, if this is how you are feeling in your community, man, to start looking now. That's the same thing we all do, and I won't say we because I'm an elected official, but a politician, like I say, when you look at the Democratic Party, they already looking at who going to be the next Democratic candidate or Republican candidate. They looking at that, and we can't look at that. Okay, that's the federal level, and that don't apply to us. Yes, it does. It apply to state, county, local, whatever governmental structure you're in, you have to start looking at it now, my brother. So, and the way you asking questions, man, maybe something you may need to do. I don't know.
Lord, look at
We're going to bring Kevin in next. Yes.
Hey, Hey, I'm game. Y'all holler at me. We can do it. Hey, man, I appreciate your answers, brother. I actually answered a lot of information. They gave me, excuse me, that word that wrong. They gave me a lot of information.
Oh, man, I'm pleased to help, brother. You have a blessing, man.
Thank you, Brother Kevin.
All right, y'all do the same, man.
All right.
All right, y'all.
All right, man.
Hey, this is the Male Review, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Thank y'all for joining us again on another fun-filled Saturday. This was an informational Saturday, a political Saturday, where we kind of got a chance to kind of kick it around with the Honorable Roderick
Clark.
Mr.
Clark with the bat.
Mr. Clark with the bat in the trunk.
In the trunk.
In the trunk, yeah. In the trunk.
That was Uncle Joe. That was
Uncle Joe. Okay, my bad.
Rest in peace to the original Joe Clark who passed away recently.
Yes, absolutely.
So rest in peace to him. He truly set a standard that we hold true to our communities and really bettering ourselves. So that's a great thing, man. Yeah, man. Thank you for coming in, brother.
Man, it's been a pleasure.
Especially on Black History Month.
On Black History Month. This is the 9-year anniversary of Yale Radiocast.
Yes,
we started in Black History Month.
Watch out now. I'm going to tell you this. You got Black History in front of you. I was the youngest city councilman elected when I was elected in 2012.
What? Okay.
And I'm the youngest black man.
All right. Look at it.
This has been your Black History Minute.
Hey, we did that.
Well, hey, man, thank you again definitely for joining us, man. And, shouting out from all the members of the Male Review, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. My brother TR out the studio today. My brother Josh the intern also out the studio today. It is myself, Mark L, in the building with Dylan Yale, the namesake of the flagship company, Yale Radiocast.
I'm just a part of the leg.
He's
brother.
just a part of the leg. The tibia and the fibia. We working
like
with it today.
Thigh. I'm the thigh.
You the thigh. Okay, I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna be that shin bone. I got it. That shin bone, boy. Thank y'all again for joining us. We do appreciate it. Thank you for your call today, brother. We definitely appreciate you calling in. Hey, y'all, tune in to us next week. You never know where we gonna go in the Male Review, but we gonna definitely give it to you from a male standpoint. So from myself and brother D Yale over there in the corner right there.
So check this out before we sign out. Please, we want you to follow us on every social media platform at Yale Radiocast, on Instagram at the Yale brand, and we are televised at this moment on Roku and Fire Stick on RTV. We are a big platform, and we are streaming at this point over 25 streaming sites.
Yes.
Who else is doing this? And we're getting bigger. You got to get on the ride with us, man.
I think they need.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Gentlemen. We are the gold standard,
and that's why we call this Yale Radiocast. The motto is "Get the business." Holla.
Yale Radiocast.